Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about how Turkey's Bayraktar drones became an international success. Turkey's Bayraktar TB2 drones have become an international success over the past couple of years, notching up sales in Poland, Ukraine, Qatar, Azerbaijan, and Morocco. Poland became its latest customer when Defense Minister Mariusz Błaszczak announced a contract on May 25th for 24 drones armed with anti-tank projectiles, stating that they have proven themselves in wars. As Erdogan told reporters while announcing the Poland deal, Turkey will, for the first time in its history, export drones to a NATO and EU member. There are currently a total of 118 Bayraktar TB2 unmanned combat aerial vehicles, UCAVs, operating in 4 countries, including Turkey. Polish-Turkish relations have been largely praised in Turkish media in recent years, with Warsaw considering Ankara a key ally, particularly in light of growing tensions between Turkey, Ukraine, and Russia. During the visit, the country's defense minister signed a $270 million deal for Poland to buy reconnaissance and combat unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, making it the first NATO and EU member state to purchase Turkish drones. The first batch of combat drones is expected to be delivered to Poland next year. Turkish-made combat drones have gained widespread recognition since being deployed in Libya, Syria, and most recently the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. Now let's talk about the war success stories of Bayraktar. Bayraktar TB2s were used by the Turkish military to strike Syria army targets during Operation Spring Shield, a campaign against Syrian regime forces on the side of the UN-recognized Government of National Accord (GNA) to destroy rebel warlord Khalifa Haftar's forces, and by Azeri forces fighting Armenia in the enclave of Nagorno-Karabakh. The UAE deployed Chinese-built Wing Lung drones last year to support Haftar-led Libyan National Army LNA inside Libya, where they gained infamy for deadly strikes using laser-guided Blue Arrow missiles. When Turkey intervened on behalf of the opposing side, it deployed a fleet of Bayraktar TB2s, which eventually overwhelmed and destroyed most of the LNA's Russian-built air defense systems, forcing the army to end its siege of Tripoli and withdraw from a key airbase in May 2020. In the last 5 years, Ankara deployed its drones in several cross-border military operations in Syria: Euphrates Shield, Olive Branch, and Spring Shield. Turkish drones also swooped down on Bashar al-Assad's forces in Syria's Idlib province, reportedly destroying over 100 armored vehicles, bringing Assad's initially successful assault on the rebel stronghold reeling to a halt. As far as the competition in the drone market, the countries that managed to tap the drone market successfully are the United States, Israel, and China. Turkey itself previously relied on Israeli drones in its fight against the Kurdish armed group in Syria. After the United States denied selling Turkey its attack drones in 2010 and 2012, the latter began developing its own from the mid-2010s. For Turkey, China is the main competition. Defense analyst Arda Mevlutoglu explains to Nikkei Asia, because Western countries and Israel are imposing strict conditions on their drone sales, many Middle Eastern and North African countries are turning to China, so Turkey's main competitor is China. Ahead of Turkey's drone deal with Poland, China delivered 6 CH-92A attack reconnaissance UAVs to Serbia in July 2020, a deal seen as China's entry into the European market. But contrary to expectation, it did not lead to more Chinese drone sales in Europe. Meanwhile, Israel's drone industry has been hard selling its drones based on their military experience. The Israel Defense Force (IDF) regularly uses UAVs in and around its borders, whether dropping tear gas canisters on Palestinian demonstrators, monitoring Hezbollah positions in Lebanon, or striking Hamas bases in Gaza. This rich in-field experience has been used in product fine-tuning. The development of the so-called suicide drone, or loitering munition that hovers over a particular area and dives down to explode near its target, is credited to the need for finding human targets in the crowded bylanes of Gaza. Over the years, Israeli drones have become both expensive and sophisticated, requiring high-level technical competence to deploy and maintain them. In 2020, Greece's Hellenic Ministry of National Defense leased Heron long-endurance drones, in a deal that offers up an alternative to pricey acquisitions. The Heron long-endurance drones, manufactured by Israeli Aerospace Industries (IAI), will be used for border defense under a leasing model in which IAI experts will look after maintenance. Talking TB2 price, these Turkish UAVs are midway priced as compared to Israeli and Chinese ones. Turkish-made drones are deemed more expensive than Chinese drones, but are cheaper than Israeli and American ones. However, Chinese manufacturers do not engage in after-sales service like Turkish companies, so they miss the feedback to improve their products. As per reports, the Polish contract covers the acquisition of 4 UAV sets, 24 UAVs with weapons, laser-guided MAML and MAMC missiles, mobile control stations, SAR radars, simulators, spares, training, and logistics support for $270 million. Each set consisting of 6 drones would cost around $67 million, which means a single fully armed Bayraktar TB2 would come at a relatively affordable price of approximately $10 million. Morocco's Royal Armed Forces Farmaroc announced on April 18, 2021 that they are buying 13 Bayraktar TB2s for $70 million. Therefore, an unarmed drone would cost only $5 million. Whereas China has sold the Wing Lung to several countries in Africa and the Middle East, including Nigeria, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates at an estimated $1 million per unit. On the other hand, India reportedly leased 4 of Israel's deadliest drones, Heron TPs, for $200 million in February 2021. And a single unit of the US MQ-9 Reaper cost somewhere around $100 million. Owing to its advantage in terms of price, lethality, and provision of after-sales service, Turkey is expecting to secure more contracts in the future. As we can see that the agreement with Poland paves the way for more NATO countries purchasing Turkish drones in the future. While US-made drones have proved their mettle in places like Yemen and Afghanistan, China and Israel are yet to convince the world of the efficacy of their drone technology on difficult battlefronts. Although American drones are deadly, they come with a much higher price tag. The last point is about possible future sales of the TB2. In this case, Ukraine has acquired over a dozen Bayraktar drones off the shelf, and it has signed a contract with Turkey to jointly manufacture 48 of them. Also, in January 2021, Turkish publication Haber 7 reported that Bulgaria was interested in purchasing at least 6 UAVs. Kazakhstan also has the acquisition of 30 to 40 Bayraktar TB2s on its wish list. So what do you think of this drone? Is it worth buying? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.